So the next one is storage, and storage looks pretty good if you look at it from first glance. It looks really nice. Like the boxes are in the correct place. There are a bunch of barrels here, the Wi-Fi, and there's also this, which is the garbage. There's also like a little inject lever thing, but this looks really nice. But you know, I had to change it because it didn't look that accurate. So I changed it to this. This is how it looks like now, and I have to admit this is also nice. I added a mop and a bucket, which is actually how it looks like in the thing, because there's an actual mop, which is a really nice detail. And I added the wires like task here, and I added barrels. Barrels look really nice because you know, there's like a red thing, and then there's like an opening, and the box had like a little detail where they're like a V. So I had to change that because the original map didn't have much detail in the boxes or even the barrels. And I had to change the floor because if you look at the actual map on Skeld, the floor looks like a little, like it has a bunch of squares that are like yellow outline, you know. And yeah, I changed that. I got parts from the original you know, thing, and then I rotated it. I made it like a certain width and height, and I made them like a certain color, and you get it. And then I changed it to this, so it looks really nice, the floor. And then I also changed the lever, which is the same one in cafeteria. I also changed this, so like it looks nice. And I also added this, which is like a door when the garbage gets ejected. And in my theory and in other people's theory, this is where you get ejected when you get ejected from the ship. Yeah, this is where you get ejected. So I also added like a little like metal cross thing here, which is nice. And I also added like a hazard line, which it actually has, just like so I checked it, and then it didn't have the hazard line, so when I saw, I put it there. And I also searched for a gas can in toolbox. So I searched for gas can, and that's my favorite one that popped up, which is really, really nice because it looks really detailed. I think this is the one, 1 gallon, I think, made by this guy, Real Street Performance. So I also added lines over here, and I also added this floating box, which is actually a thing in the Skeld map itself, which wasn't floating in the original one. So it's floating right now. So but it's just anchored. I made the property anchored to true so that it stays in the air, it doesn't fall. And I also added the V on the green boxes to the red one, the barrel here, and I made a little redesign to the walls, I think, because it looks different. So yeah, that's one of my favorite rooms, obviously, and it looks really nice when I redesigned it. So the next room I did was engine, upper engine and lower engine. And I have to admit, this is one of the hardest rooms that I had to make, because if you look at the original one, it looked very smooth and like low texture and all that. But when I added it here, it's really nice. I had to put a bunch of parts together so that it forms up, and I had to put like a hole, which it had these, which is one of my favorite details in the entire map. I mean, seeing this makes me like believe like, oh, it's really engine, which it didn't have here. And then it was really like low detailed here, so I added a bunch of lines, and I added a circle so it looks cool. And I also added like a little box thing like that it goes down, and I added railings so it wouldn't fall, of course, which it didn't have here because it didn't go down. It just had railings, but it didn't have a thing which supports the whole engine. So when I made lower engine first and then upper engine. So I searched for a thermometer in properties. I searched for in toolbox. I searched for a thermometer, and then this one popped up, and it looks really, it doesn't look bad because that's where you fill up the gas can, and it doesn't look bad at all. Yeah, it's this one. I think this is the one I used. Thank you so much. And then I added a cone. I added a cone here, so like, cause there was a little pointy thing in the actual map, and I added this part, which is really nice. There's like a little pipe here, and there's a little thing here where you align the thing to the middle. And I added these lines here so it looks nice. And I also added I made the vent smaller, I think. Yeah, and I made the position like here, like more to the corner. I also added chains because that's what I noticed when I was checking the map, that there were chains here, so I added that too. And I put divert power. I put a bunch of wires, which was not bad, and then I put this detail, which is in the original map, which is in the Skeld map itself, not this, but you know, it's not his fault. And when I did lore engine, I copied the same thing, only I realigned the chains. I put the chain somewhere else. I put the divert power somewhere else. I put this, the pillar thing somewhere else. And I also added this. I just copied everything from that map to this. I put the railings. I searched for railings on Toolbox and I made it this color, specific color, so it looks cool. I searched railing on Toolbox, so that's how I got these. And I also put lights as usual for the 2 engine rooms. So that's it. Moving on to my next room, I did medbay. Now medbay was pretty interesting because if you look at medbay in the original map, there were gray beds. They were floating they were attached to the wall. They were floating in a way, at least. And this, which is the medbay scan, didn't look that accurate, and the spec sample didn't look that accurate either. But the crosses were nice. The vent was great, but it looked pretty low detail. There's even the cafeteria floor glitching through it. So when I did medbay here, I took out the floor, which I changed it. As you can see, like the floor looks different. I had to change the parts of the floor. I had to change the sizes and all that, but you can still see part of it like checking out in the wall. And if you look at the beds, I had to get individual parts, and then I had to shape them to turn like this, and then I made the color this, but it looks really nice. Like the color looks great. It looks really accurate. And I searched for a pillow in Toolbox, and then perfect, it's right there. So like the pillows look really nice. The bed looks great. And I changed the walls because in the other one they look too baby blue, and like, you know, they look too baby blue, and the floor, the walls and everything look too baby blue. So I changed it. I put another part, and I made it go up, and I made this wall go up as well so it doesn't glitch out like the floor. And I also added this. I made the original floor like go to here, and then I added a part, and then I added another part, and I added this detail where they're like tiles, just like in navigation and cafeteria and like and reactor and so many other places. And I also made the vent somewhere else. And I searched for in Toolbox, I searched for medbay scan or something like that. No, that's medbay. I searched for medbay, and I'm pretty sure when I searched it was, yeah, perfect. When I searched for medbay in Toolbox, there was luckily a medbay actual like scanner thing, which looked really great because whoever made this, Arts Hawk, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Arts Hawk, I think that's the original creator. I'm not sure if it got copied, but I used his medbay scan to put it here, which looked really nice. I mean, it looks really accurate. Thank you to Arts Hawk for making this so I could use it. And I also got a cylinder, and I put like a wire attached to the wall. And then I changed the computer, which in the original one, it's only one screen and it's glowing, and also the scan doesn't look right. So I changed that. I added the one he made, the one Arts Hawk made. And I also added a keyboard and a mouse. really, it's not that badly detailed. I think I got it upside down though. I think I got it the wrong way around. And I also added a triangle, which is not really connected. I added and then I added a part, and then I put 2 screens, which is actually how it looks. And I made the cross from the original. I just made it a little smaller so it looks better, and I had a light as usual. So that's how I made medbay.